Yes, you know, it's the
Good evening, everybody, and welcome. This is Wednesday, February 28, 2024, and you are at the annual meeting of the Celebration Residential Owners Association, Inc. It is 6 o'clock. And I'd like for everyone to stand, please, for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, call this meeting to order. At probably 6:02 now. Okay, Lauren, do we have a quorum? You do not have quorum. Quorum would be 20% of the eligible votes. Out of 4,564 homes in celebration, 4,448 were eligible to vote.
Laura, we can't hear you.
To have quorum, you would require 20% of the eligible votes. Out of 4,564 homes in celebration, 4,448 were eligible to vote. 1,563 online votes were cast, 263 paper ballots were cast with a 41.1% voting. So 890 was required for quorum, but we're not discussing business today. Yep. So it doesn't matter, but it's good to know. So we do not have a quorum. Take a second to introduce the current board members. My name is Cindy Swisher. I am the current president. To my right here is Charles Richards. He's the vice president. Next to him is Celia McFadden. She's our secretary. Next, there he is. I couldn't see him from this angle. Next to Celia is Bill Grindle. He's our treasurer. There's an empty seat there that normally David Anderson would be sitting in, but he's in Washington, D.C. this week on business. And then finally, we have Jared White, who's one of our directors. So we're all five of us out of six are here. Next, we'd like to say thank you to our outgoing board members, David Anderson, who served from 2018 to 2014, Ms. Cindy Swisher, who served from 2021 to 2024, Mr. Bill Grindle, who served from 2022 to 2024, and Mr. Jim Hayes, who resigned partway through this year, but served 2022 to 2023.
Okay, so President's address, that would be me. Again, welcome to everybody. You enjoyed yourself so far? I thought the appetizers were outstanding. I gave my champagne tickets to someone who will. I see a hand going up in the back, who will remain nameless. But everything was just wonderful. So last year at this time, I stood before you and shared that never in my wildest dreams did I think that one day I would be on this association's board of directors, let alone serve as its treasurer and president. But here I am again. So I want to make a few introductions. We have two special guests here today that I'm aware of. We have Stacy Keitelman, who's the executive vice president for Grand Manners, sitting here in the front row. I did see Atria Spar, who is, I see a hand in the back, who is the vice president for this area and Lauren's immediate boss. So welcome, and we're glad you're here. So if you haven't figured it out already with the hors d'oeuvres and champagne, this is not your typical board meeting. No official business will be conducted. Instead, we are going to just celebrate celebration. You will hear what our committees have accomplished during the last 12 months, relive some of our amazing events that just keep getting better and better. Yay. And you will meet, probably have already met, some of the new board members will begin serving their terms on Friday. So without further ado, let's get this party started. So the first thing we're going to touch on is the standing committees. Sometimes we assume that if people understand things, then they don't, or they think they understand, but we have several committees. There's a couple of them that are actually in our charter, our governing documents, that say that we must have, like an ARC committee, covenants committee, and they've added the finance committee recently. And then there's other committees that the board decides that we would like to have a group of people that will help us with special events, parks and recreation, dog park. Okay, so these people work, the board sets their goals, then they work towards these goals, because we can't do everything ourselves. Management can't do everything themselves. So with that, we get a lot of new ideas from different kinds of people, different walks of life. And it's just great. Last year we had, you'll remember there was some shuffling with the committees. Part of that reason was because we had 69 applicants. When I worked here, maybe we'd have an opening or two. And when I tell you the executive director had to get on the phone and beg somebody to take those spots, I am not exaggerating. So the fact that we had 69 people want to serve on committees last year was really, really something to be proud of. So we'll start with the Architectural Review Committee. And incidentally, each committee has a board liaison. That's somebody on the board who's volunteered to attend their meetings and kind of act as a mediary between them and the board or staff that's needed. So we'll start with the Architectural Review Committee, and that's Mr. Bill Grindle.
Table Architectural Review Committee. Is this coming through sound-wise? Okay. Architectural Review Committee is one of the committees that requires certain skills from the members because of the technical nature of the architectural components. They work off of the original design guidelines, some of which have been modified over the years. And they do a large number of approvals. It's roughly 100 a month. So last year there was 1,257. And this is a lot for volunteers. The process is managed internally by Grand Manners, supported by Natalie. Most of the applications are online and are fairly quick and easy to do, like changing the color of your front door, changing the plants and things. The ones that take more review and more time are the ones where somebody wants to build a garage addition and whether the design is both going to fit with the house and the neighborhood, but also fit with building codes and design requirements related to setbacks and other issues. At the moment, Architecture Review Committee is working with covenants and with others, Grand Manners in particular, come up with different ways to design change in some of the things that we've inherited from the original designs in the town. So they're looking at changes to awnings, landscaping, fans, exterior lighting, security devices, fences and walls. Some of them seem very nitpicky and small, like how high the head should be, but it actually gets kind of complicated when you look at all the individual ways people have hedges and all the different heights throughout the community. So they're looking at things, and the intent is to make changes to the covenants so that the designs are brought up into more contemporary standards. Fences are a big issue because the fences, particularly on zero lot lines or close to zero lot lines, need to be a distance from both owners. And sometimes it's difficult to accomplish, particularly right now in Island Village, because not all the sites are square. So a pie-shaped site becomes a little harder to design around. But those things are being looked at. And the members as volunteers put a great deal of effort into it, going out and volunteering to meet with the various owners, going out and inspecting the conditions before coming up with an opinion on it. Over time, most things are approved. Occasionally things are submitted for a concept, and the concept may or may not be approved. And then the concept goes on to a further design or not. But a great deal of effort is put into it. And the other thing that's being looked at with Grand Manners is a way to speed up the process, because there are so many approvals that the process perhaps can be changed through the covenants, the town covenants, to allow staff to make more predictable approvals, such as changing the color of the front door, doing the plantings and things. These don't need the full committee, but at the moment the covenants require the full committee. So those changes and types of things that are being looked at the moment.
Bill, who's on that committee?
That would be Joe LaGrasse. Brings a wealth of information. Here's where he lived, where he was on the planning board for the city for over 20 years. And he's a licensed architect. Giselle Ford, Brittany Locke, Marissa Mosia, and Jesse Apalka. I think all of them are architects, except that Marissa is a designer. So all very skilled and provide a level of professionalism that is very helpful to what we're trying to achieve.
Thank you. And thank you, committee. Next up is the Covenants Committee. Those are my peeps. We have Chair Dane Anderson. We have Alina Curion.
Hyrulina.
Thank you. Kyralina. Thank you.
Hyrulina.
Corey Koenig, Jack McLaughlin, and Dan Agnello. As I said, I am the liaison with that committee. I don't think everybody knows about the Covenants Committee, but I don't think they know that this committee's role is to act as a covenant, as a advocate for the residents. If there's a violation, if the town hall is not contacted, it goes to the board imposes the fine, and then the resident can come to the committee and either explain why they would need an extension, or, maybe they were out of town or whatever, but that's what that committee does. Very important. And they do a very good job at it. We've had some change over the last 3 years, but every single person that's been on those committees, that committee, the 3 years that I've been the liaison, has been outstanding. I always would tell everybody who was willing to listen that I had the best committee. But as I said, they act as the advocate for the residents. The inspectors have been something that was suggested by the committee. The inspectors are actually going to the homes and explaining to people. Lots of times you get a letter and they don't understand what the violation is. What are those drip edges? Drip edge, yeah. People started getting letters telling them their drip edges were dirty or needed cleaning. And it's like, it's a drip edge. So the inspector would, swing by and show them. So that's been very, very helpful both to the committee and to the residents who are being cited. preparing the resolution last year, I was looking at the documents and realized that the ARC committee and the covenants committee were supposed to be having periodic meetings during the year, which somewhere got lost in the shuffle. So we started that back up, like Bill said, and the purpose of that is for them to kind of work together to refine the guidelines. The covenants committee can tell ARC what they're seeing repeated over and over again, what may not be clear in the guidelines. So we started doing that. We've had 2 meetings so far this year. So they're doing a great job. They continue to do a great job. And I know they're not probably the most popular committee, but they're doing it all for you in the beauty of celebration. So thanks to you all. Next we have Charles.
Right. Well, I have the honor and privilege of being the liaison for the Parks and Recreation Committee. And I really couldn't ask for a better group of volunteers. My philosophy on liaison is liaising with a light touch. So I really try to take a step back, let them do great work, and just be an advocate for them, empower them, be here just from a board perspective to move pebbles, move stones, but just really support the great work that they do. And really, we can't celebrate them enough. I think it's definitely been a tough few years, I think, with this committee in particular. So we have Victoria Sterry, who is our chair, Catherine Baivea. Thank you. Rob Sassone, John Trischler, Lindsay Taylor, Marco Meccia, and Andy Woods. And Nikki Patton, who I would hope we can all give a round of applause to, because she's been Nikki. No, she's in it.
She's probably still hanging around the champagne.
Okay. Did you give the tickets? No, I mean, what? No, Nikki's been phenomenal, honestly. I mean, we couldn't ask for a better management liaison, and honestly, keeping all the rec programs and parks and everything straight. It's a Herculean task. So really, it's just an amazing effort all around. So just a super impressive team that we have. So yeah, again, you can kind of read what their accomplishments are, and it's 3 bullet points, but I'd say 3 pretty meaningful bullet points. Approved over 16 recreational contractors in 2023. Approved fee waivers to accommodate nonprofit events to continue to give back to the community. And this is a big one, updated 2024 facility rentals with revised rates and updated rules and regulations. So what they did was, I think in May or June, what they did was they started looking at our rates for residents and non-residents. I don't think we changed those in 10 years.
At least.
Yeah. So basically looking at, what are comparable, Gaylord Palms and kind of other communities charging, and then making some adjustments based on cost of living and inflation and whatnot. So they really did a lot of great work on that, not just, kind of what you see tangibly in the parks. So I think they definitely set us up for success beyond just Parks and Rec, and a lot of great input too from the finance committee. I think they were instrumental in that. So that's it.
That's it.
Yep.
If there's anybody out there who doesn't know, you can rent out our facilities. You can rent out rooms here. You could rent out Heritage Hall. You could rent out the room by the pool at Lakeside. So just mental note, if you're having a baby shower, birthday party, any of that kind of stuff, you can do it right here close to home and not mess up your own place. You can mess up ours. Okay.
Please don't.
Okay, Dog Park Committee, Jared.
Yeah, the Dog Park Committee did an excellent job this year. They only met every other month, and Taylor Benzoni was the chair, and he really took a hands-on approach to making sure that the dogs were getting priority in the dog park, and looking at things like what fertilizer we're using, and making sure that it's pet friendly. They organized several events, including dog training events, to make sure that there was a lot of resident engagement. They worked on getting lights installed to extend the park use for earlier hours and later hours in the evening. And they actually accomplished all of their goals for this year. So Sue Davis was really great in writing articles for the magazine. Angles Tessara and Matthew Blake and Paul Bettolini were all really helpful and engaged, and everybody was at every meeting. So it was a very engaged and productive committee.
I don't think anybody realizes what a big deal having the lights installed there is. We've been talking about that ever since the dog park had opened, what, 10 years ago, maybe? Not what I'm asking you for, you weren't even here. I think it's been about 10 years ago, that we actually opened the dog park. And finally, we got the lights, so that's a great thing. Thank you, Jared. Next, we have the Finance Committee. Back to Jared.
This was also me. I am very proud of this committee because they did everything they could to ensure a minimum dues increase and also maximize what we're doing for the future. Andrew Beninati was the chair and worked very well in keeping things on track and managing the meetings and the offline discussion with Frank DeCola and Tina Dorn, who were new to the group. Jim Pinot also, and Mike Jackson with his outstanding leadership and help in advising on a lot of different things with this group. They made investment recommendations to generate interest income, which is something that is continuing through the year. That's a standing topic that they talk on frequently. They made recommendations on insurance so that we could decrease our expense on insurance. That's also an ongoing conversation that will continue through the next year. Providing great oversight on the budget. I remember sitting down with Andrew at the very beginning and say 0% increase. This is what I promised. We need a 0% increase. He said, I agree we need a 0% increase. Let's work towards a 0% increase. We all know we had a 3.2, 3.4% increase. And there was a point where he turned to me at a meeting and said, this is as low as we can go without affecting quality. And that is all I needed to hear because that's what we all ended up agreeing on. And that is in line with the last, I think, 8 years when we looked back. We did an average of the last 8 years, and it was between 3 and 3.5%. So it was consistent there. But they really looked at every single line item and every single purchase. I will say Lauren was really helpful this year. Lauren and a lot of the staff were helpful. Jennifer Rowe as well in helping define what these categories were. Miscellaneous went from hundreds of thousands of dollars to like $60,000. So things really got categorized a lot better this year. So we have a much better understanding of what's being spent and where it's being spent and how it's being spent. Again, Mike Jackson helped with the recalculation of the apartment rec fees and capital allocations, an immense help there in making sure we're maximizing the income and also making sure that we're paying attention to where everything's going. So excellent work by the Finance Committee this year to keep us on track and bring in more income for the future.
Great. Thank you, Jared. Celia.
Okay, I'll be talking for a while, so.
No.
Okay, I'm the board liaison for the most fun committee there is, lifestyle and special events. And that committee is chaired by Dory Moyer and Nathaniel Cromwell, Debbie Jackson, Eugene Petrella, and Carla Young are our committee members. And Liz Wargo is our management liaison. And this year, in 2023, they've received more in sponsorship money than in any other year. So that's really good for celebration. They focused on our cornerstones, education being the animal education presentations, health, One Blood, and on-spot dermatology. Technology was the Founders Day laser show, and community in place that included the spooky soiree. And there's so much other pop-up events that they've done for the entire community, Liz and her team and the committee. So I can't go into the last event that they had, which was 2 weeks ago because it's 2024, but next year, when you hear about the father-daughter dance, it was amazing. Next, technology. I'm on the technology committee as a board liaison. Everyone laughed at me. Ha. Celia knows absolutely not a thing about technology. Why do you even want to be the board liaison for technology? I said it from day one when I said, they don't need a board liaison. These people that are on this technology committee are the most, at least to me, the most intelligent people when it comes to technology in the world. So we have John Greenberg, he's the chair. We have Anil Duke, Krista Thompson, Corbin Wallstrom, Breck Mass, Tom Hull, Ken Fitzpatrick was on the committee, and Bill Long. Bill Long came on towards, I don't know, Ken, you still on the committee? I don't know if he's still on it, because I think he bowed out. Did he, Lauren? Okay. Bill Long came on
Service.
the first day I was the board liaison, and the things that I learned being the board liaison is amazing. So what I didn't know before, I know now, thanks to the committee. They've done a lot this year with the implementation of the backup infrastructure, implementation of cybersecurity appliance, implementation of video conferencing capabilities at Heritage Hall and the Jones Room, which makes it possible now for us to have meetings at Heritage Hall. Network infrastructure set up for Island Village, Wi-Fi implementation at Island Village and all large amenity locations, corrective measure to improve video conferencing capabilities at Town Hall. We've collaborated with the CDD for, I won't say it, Charles.
Dollar in the capital fund.
My Celebration FL,
Good job.
formerly known as GoGo.
The dollar.
Creation of training videos for both My Celebration application and ONR. And I just want, Liz, where are you and your team? Liz, can you come up here? The staff is in the back and these people should be highlighted. Amber, Samantha, Jose, are you in the back? Please come up here. These are my management liaisons for the committees that I serve on.
Nikki, you come up too, because I saw
Nikki.
you walking. You got called up.
Please go.
The champagne down.
They have a community on every single day. These people put their heart into everything they do for our community. I'm going to ask Rose to come up now because Rose is the management liaison, which I'm the board liaison for the service areas in Celebration. We have 9 committees that are under Rose, and we have 4, which also includes 14 service areas. So when you're driving through Celebration and you see all the townhomes in Artisan, all the townhomes in North Village, Spring Park, Island Village, Spring Lake, the entire community of Spring Lake is a service area. This lady gets it done. I learned a long time ago when we did a walk at Founders Park. I think you were with me, Bill. We have at Founders Park 4 different kinds of grass or 4 different types of grass that don't grow because certain times of the day it's either sunny, it either gets no sun, it gets no shade, or the rain just kills everything. So this woman tries every single day to make sure that our service area landscaping is up to what it's supposed to be for Celebration standards. The painting of the townhomes and the roofs. Rose, thank you. Okay, next. Can you,
Are you gonna let them
Can
sit
they sit
down?
down?
yes, they can sit down. So I wanted to thank the election tabulation ad hoc group that did an amazing job at tabulating the ballots. And the referendum tabulation also, they did an amazing job. And Jared and I are the master plan advisory group board liaisons. Jared, you have anything to say?
No, we're about halfway through, maybe a third of the way through, and it's been really, really productive and really successful. I think everyone got a glimpse into that when last week we did
Right.
the community workshop and with all the feedback. So there's exciting things to come very soon on that as well.
Thank you. Okay, next, I'll go on to my next task. I'm the board liaison for the condo council. Lauren was nice enough to put the condo council in the presentation this year because sometimes it gets just overlooked. We have 11 condo associations in celebration, starting in North Village and ending all the ways up in Artisan Park. Jeffrey Webb is our management liaison. And the condo council was formed to encourage condominium association and resident participation with CROA for the purpose of enhancing the sense of community for all condominium residents. The purpose of the condo council shall include facilitating better communications with the condominiums without interfering with the day-to-day operations of the condominium association. I think it's important to know, I always used to say it was 43% of the homeowners in Celebration were condo owners, but that number came down when Island Village came on because that took over the numbers. I don't know how to do the numbers there, but condo owners are a big part of Celebration. So we need to remember that. And the council does good things as a whole when it comes to talking about the issues and the challenges that they're facing within their communities with their management companies. So next, Cindy.
See, in case you haven't figured it out, this too, Celia's our overachiever. Anytime a position on anything opens up, it's like, I'll do it. And so
I'm
that's
not done yet.
Oh,
And on top of that, Celia, we all have multiple committees that we're responsible for, but condo council has 11 subgroups and service area that has 10. That's a lot of meetings because it's as much as we do on the board, each committee requires that much time additionally as well. So having that times another 20 on top of technology and on top of the special events. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
We didn't have to.
Yeah.
okay, resident services. Resident services are the folks that you see every time you walk into town hall. A group of 2 or 3 people, depending who's there, that's there to help you with anything you need, from poll passes to finding out why you got this letter, to finding out what color you can paint your house, you name it, they're going to try to help you. This year we started the new homeowner orientation presentations. Those of us that have been here for a while remember they used to have like a welcome to the neighborhood thing, but it was mostly service groups and things that you could join and stuff like this. They actually give you information that is important if you're going to live here in Celebration. So they started doing that. They have a notary on board if you ever need notary services. We've got new merchandise in the Celebration store. It has to do with the dog park. You may have noticed there's little doggy sweaters and things like that in there now. We have a new map of Celebration that's printed and for distribution that you can pick up here. We're going to have calendars again, I guess, starting this year. Are they out already?
They're out already.
They're out already. How much they cost?
That's above my favorite.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but I'm sure it's very reasonable. So those are here if you'd like to buy one. They also have increased their efficiency and accuracy of record keeping. And they are cross-training all across departments to best assist our residents. Because when you have a staff of 2 people, if one's on vacation and the other one gets sick, you're in a pickle. So they are working on training probably just about everybody in the office that could step in and help out at that desk if need be. But I've always found them very cordial, bend over backwards kind of folks. So we're lucky to have them. Okay. Now we move on to the rest of the folks in Town Hall. Those are the directors and the management team. We have Lauren Gunyon, who's right here. All of you recognize her. It's now quit. She never. I mean, she's taken it upon herself to find ways to save the association money. With little things that you would never think of. I mean, she's just amazing with the support that she gives the board and I know the staff. We have Jeffrey Webb. Jeffrey, where are you? Jeffrey, No. Yeah, no, that's not gonna do it. Stand up. Stand up, there you go. Way nice, Jeffrey. Jeffrey's only been with us since October, and he's the Community Association manager. Lauren's the executive director, he's the manager. We have Jose Otero, who you already met. He's our IT guy. Jennifer Rowe, she's here someplace. Jennifer, there she is. Jennifer's your accountant. And she's here for the finance committee meetings and board meetings and pretty much every time we need her. You've met Liz already. She's the director of lifestyle and communications. We have Brian. Are you here?
Brian is off site, still working.
Oh, so there you go. But Brian is our director of facilities and operations. So all those folks that you see going around in the nevs and stuff, he's their boss. We have Nikki that you've already met. We have Jeanette Gonzalez, who is new. Jeanette, I know you're here because she was a chicken person. Hello, Jeanette. She's the resident services manager, and she also does, I think, a variety of other things in the office that doesn't necessarily have to do with resident services. She's responsible for the food.
No, Liz and her group.
Liz and her group are responsible for the food tonight. Kudos again. Natalie De La Torre, she's our community standards manager. Natalie is not here. I didn't see her. She's here. Oh, there she is. Natalie, you're short, so you have to come up front, honey. Come on, Natalie. Come on. She's shy. Come on, sweetie. Isn't she cute? She's the staff liaison to the covenants committee too. So she's my peep. So this is Natalie. Hi, Natalie. You guys are wonderful job. Thank you, Karen. Okay, Rose Vasquez, we've met already, and Amber Whitaker. She was kind of lumped in with Liz's group. Amber, raise your hand one more time. She was up here, but that's the one. Yep. Anyway. Connection management team here. And, they're outstanding, I do say myself. Charles.
All right. Well, I didn't realize I was presenting this slide, so I'm going to, no, it's an important slide, and I'm glad I could, because I think partnerships, I think for all of us are paramount, and we can't do what we do, and we need everyone to work together, and we need effective relationships and working together in harmony. So I think we want to say a thank you to Osceola County Commissioners, Osceola County Sheriff's Office, the school district, CCDD, Celebration Foundation, Lexan Celebration Sanitation, and Campus Customs. So thank you.
Guess who's next, Celia?
Okay, last one. This has become really a special one for me, Community Connections. This was, I think, originated by David Anderson before COVID. He was working on getting some kind of welcome packet with the community together with CDD and the Celebration Foundation so that we can join forces and present to the community. So, first kickoff meeting was in January 2023. And it's me as the board liaison, Cassandra Starks as the CDD liaison, and Kathleen Scipio from the Celebration Foundation. We tried to make it fun. We opened it up. It's supposed to be for residents that are new to Celebration. But being that we came out of COVID and we just started this over again, David was nice enough to say, here, you want it? You're more than welcome to take it, Celia. Let's open it up to the entire community. If you're a resident, just show up. It's fun. You get to learn what the responsibilities of CROA are, what the responsibilities of the CDD are, what the Celebration Foundation does for our community. And the sign clearly says it. This is community. If it wasn't for our previous resident services person, Amy, she's the one that literally put that presentation together. Cindy, am I correct in that?
I believe so.
I tormented her day after day after day.
That for sure is correct.
Like, she perfected it. So I wish she was here so I can thank her for that, because her work continues through Community Connections. We're trying to meet quarterly. It's hard sometimes for people to make time to come to it, but the residents that have come don't have to be an owner. You can be renting, as long as you don't even have to be a Celebration resident. You show up, you get a swag bag, and you learn all about our community. Because there's people that literally have come here and said, oh, I want to move to Celebration, and this was an event that I saw that was going on, so I've learned so much about it. This is great, and when I'm off the board next year, I'm going to be sad, because that's one thing I'm going to miss, because like I said, the three of us women work really well together, Cassandra, Kathleen, and I, but it is one of our cornerstones, sense of community, and the sign, like I said, says it all. So I'm proud to be on that committee.
So Sue, is there anything that says that someone can't go to more than one of these meetings?
You can go to as many of them as you want and get a beautiful collection of Celebration green mugs, get one of the free Celebration books, whatever giveaways. Kathleen Scipio is so generous. She gives out concert tickets. Last one we had, she gave out concert tickets. I forgot which Jeffrey Rubin, I think, was the gentleman that was performing at the Community Presbyterian Church. She gave out tickets to whoever came, 2 tickets. So there's always a good gift that you get, but there's so much knowledge that you gain from coming to these meetings.
So what I just heard you say is that next year, even when you're off the board, you can continue to go to these meetings and get free stuff.
Yes.
Is that what I heard you say?
Okay.
Because everybody needs more free stuff. Okay, now my favorite part, and probably yours too, our year in review. We need to turn some lights, or are we good? lots of fun stuff. Everybody who helps put those together. Lauren, to you.
So for those of you who don't know, every year the management team votes on a volunteer of the year for one of the residents, one of the many residents who serve Celebration. And this year, I don't think I saw him in the audience today, but this year is
He's
Tom
online.
Cole. He's online?
Yes.
This year is Tom Cole. We wanted to thank him for all his dedication and service to the technology committee. He goes above and beyond. He meets with Jose on a regular basis. He does his own research. He goes out and finds the best things possible for Celebration. And he really helps make the technology committee.
I'm online, right?
Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, thank you
Oh,
so
hey,
much.
Are you familiar enough with your computer to let us see your face? Or do we just have to hear this voice that's coming out of?
No, yeah, I think we'll try. Does that do it?
Oh, very good. Yeah.
Yes. Well, thank you so much. Wow. I mean, there's so many people that do so many great things in this community that, I mean, I'm completely honored and flattered.
Well, you deserve it, Tom. Thank you.
Do.
Thank
And
you
I'm
so
not
much.
saying
Yeah.
anything about the,
And I have to say, yeah, I know, I was gonna say something, but I won't if we're not gonna talk about it. Tom has one claim to fame, which you have to ask him what it is, but Celia and I tell everybody that we meet. But Tom is the nicest, most helpful guy that you would ever want to meet, ever. I'm proud to say he's from the region, which for those of you who don't know is the Chicagoland area. That's why he and I hit it off as soon as we figured out that we lived probably, 45 minutes away from each other back home?
Right. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, we hit it off, but truly, he is one of the nicest guys you'd ever want to meet, and just great volunteer and asset to Celebration. So, yay! Thank you,
Well,
Tom.
Thank you. Thank you for recognizing me. And I'm just happy that I can continue to be a part of this community. Thank you.
You get your name on a plaque too.
Oh,
How about that?
well, my goal is to get onto the plaque down in Memorial Gardens. So that's my long.
no.
Yeah. Not anytime soon, buddy. Not
I
anytime
hope
soon.
not. I have not. Thank you.
Thanks, Tom. Okay.
They can't do that on the screen. I told at the very end, I knew. I just knew. Are you muted?
Okay. Now here's what everybody's been waiting for. This is the annual meeting. As Celia mentioned last night, we counted the votes. We had actually 20 people that were willing to step up and take a seat on this board. Whittled down to 17. So again, executive director used to have to beg people to run for the board. The fact that we had that many people run just shows how committed people are to this community and how many people love Celebration. So the winners are Don McDonald. He's got a 3-year term. Katie Schultman. She's got a 3-year term. Don's not here. I didn't see Don. Katie.
Tom's not doing it.
Oh, sorry, Don. Katie's here. Where are you, Katie? Katie.
Come on up, Katie.
Come on, Katie. If I thought there were enough people in this room to know the song, we could all sing, Katie, Katie, you're the only girl. Da, 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 da. Over the top. Katie. You can.
You want to?
Yeah.
Katie, stay up here.
Yeah.
We're gonna try to get a a board picture.
Oh,
Well, Liz can Photoshop his face in. Well,
yeah, Tim can stand in there, you can put his face in there, or you can stand there, you can, oh no, you're gonna be there already, never mind. Eric, are you here? Oh, there he is, come on up, Eric. And they're back. And then we have Andrew DeGanzik. There he is. And he got the 1-year term.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
you gotta do it all again next year.
Yeah. Congratulations to everybody. Closing remarks. That would be me again. So what a year this has been. As you've seen tonight, we've had some really remarkable successes this past term. As the saying goes, it takes a village, or in our case, a town. I'm sitting here now with our current board. Our new board members are waiting right there in the wings. No matter how dedicated this group or the next is, no matter how much time we put in, it could never be enough to accomplish what needs to be done, and it just keeps getting more challenging. Luckily, we don't have to do it on our own. You saw the range of committees we have. They advise us on everything from when to invest our money, who can we bring in to entertain us, and how to keep our fur babies happy and engaged. We depend on these committees to provide advice and recommendations before we act. There are over 100 individuals, owners like yourselves, who share their time, expertise, and talent to make our job as your representatives a little easier. I would like, please, everyone in this room who is on a committee or has been on a committee to please stand. I know there's a bunch of you out there. Tim Swisher, stand up. Okay. Thank you all so much. And there's many, 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 many more. Soon we will begin the process of recruiting volunteers to serve on all of our committees. Not everyone has the time or inclination to serve on the board, but you can still make a valuable contribution to Celebration. Volunteering on a committee is a great way to work with the board to help find ways to maintain and enhance our property values, which that's our #1 priority sitting here on this board. And they only meet once a month. That's the good part. You can also get involved by volunteering on an as-needed basis, helping to host during our events or participating in last night's ballot counting are some prime examples. Just let town hall staff know you're available and they will be happy to put you to work. I know we've already mentioned the town hall staff, but I want to personally thank them for all the hard work and extra hours and effort they've put in ever since they arrived in November of 2021. Many residents are unaware of the massive hurdles they had to overcome. Sometimes we forget that there were reasons we made a change from the previous management company. These folks handle the day-to-day business in our community. They are the strongest link between the community and the board. They are the board's first line of defense, the gatekeepers, if you will. Except in extreme cases, they are our problem solvers. How many of you have worked in the service industry? There you go. So then you know how difficult and what a challenge it can be. Having been in their shoes, I can attest to that. Some days you just can't even keep your head above water. There's so much going on. I marvel at this staff's resilience and how quickly they can pivot, reprioritize, and push forward. So everybody on Lauren's team, including Lauren, please stand so we can thank you again. And finally, I'd like to thank you, the residents, for placing your trust in this board, the new board, and all those that have served in the past. I know it might not seem like it, but one thing that we all have in common is our passion for celebration. A thought popped into my head the other day when I was preparing to write this. How many of you recall the opening line in the classic novel, A Tale of Two Cities? Anybody? Anybody? It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. We are on the brink of what I believe will be the best of times for Celebration with all the exciting projects we have coming down the pike. This new board will have their hands full, that's for sure. For my part, and for the first time in 3 years, I'll be sitting on the sidelines watching as each plan gradually takes shape and comes to fruition. I want all of you to know that it has been my greatest honor to serve our community in this capacity. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And on that note, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
Second?
Oh, second.
Good night, everyone, and thanks for coming.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Of course. I did, and then I got sunburned. Yeah.
Sir, how you doing? Good. Coming back next year or this year?
Thank you. Yeah, no, I don't have.
Don't say enough.
No.
No. We didn't. We really didn't. And
I can't get Care Bear shirt.
We share jerseys every once in a while.